Hello, everybody. My name is Dratnos, and welcome to Echo of Neltharion Heroic Testing. This is an interesting fight, but it was quite buggy on testing, and so we weren't able to progress past into the third phase. So the first phase, you can see he creates all these walls all around the room in this pattern of like an open pentagon in the middle and then 5 slices at the edge of the room. These walls are interesting because they get broken in this phase by 2 different ways. One is with this tank attack that the boss attacks the tank, knocks them back with a huge amount of force, and that opens up that breaks any walls that get hit. And also there's this echoing shadows mechanic here that you can see people will get targeted with. And so, okay, here's the tank mechanic again. Calamitous Strike knocks me back. As I get knocked back, I break any walls that I run into. Rushing Shadows, people get arrows over their heads. The boss knocks them back, and it also opens up any walls that they get sent to. So you can use this to open up the walls. Then the boss also does this echoing fissure aimed at wherever it's going. You can see we have a little bit of a miscommunication about where everybody was going on these early pulls as well. But you could just open the wall right and get the boss back where it wants to be. And yeah, pretty quickly the walls rebuild in this phase as well. The boss is also doing the big red circles. The big red circles do fall off damage as well every time they come out. But once you get the boss 70%, this phase ends. So it's an interesting first phase, and it was kind of weird, but it's cool what they're doing at the walls. P2 begins, and in P2, instead of there being 5 slices and a pentagon in the middle of the room, there's 3 slices and a triangle in the middle of the room. Now, each of these 3 slices has an invisible ad in it, and only one person, or only one class in the raid at a time can hit that ad. So right now, I'm not actually sure in the footage right here who's got the class call, but the way it works is it's like the class calls from old, Blackwing Lair or whatever, where one class will get the ability to see the shadows, and then everybody else in the raid can't see them. And if you can see the shadows, you're supposed to be able to do like 100 and something K damage to them. Here it's our paladins that are currently class called, and you can see they're doing this paladin hammer thing. So whoever gets class called is supposed to be able to attack the ads and then do a little bit of damage to them and then break them out, and then everybody can see them and hit them and kill them. But in testing, that didn't work. So we weren't able to progress out of this phase because we weren't able to kill all 3 of the ads. Now, the other mechanic that you saw here was this, let me go back and show you what this looks like. Shadow Strike, Sunder Shadow into Shadow Strike. So this is the tank mechanic in this phase. This knocks the tank back and separates their body from their soul, which is really cool. So you can see here my body is still where it was, and now I'm in my soul. And at the end of this, the boss attacks you and knocks your soul or your body into your soul. And that breaks any walls that it goes through. So it didn't quite break that 3rd wall, maybe because I didn't get there in time, but you could see that broke open a little bit of a hole over on the other side there. And I think that's how you're supposed to navigate around this room in this phase, is the tank is supposed to get Shadow Strikes and open up towards the future areas. So in theory, how this phase is supposed to work is somebody gets class called. Each of the class calls causes you to do something either annoying, like randomly shapeshift, or damaging to your friends, like doing random blade storms. The warriors do random blade storms around them. Evokers do random deep breaths. Those do damage the ads, but they also damage your friends. But whoever is being class called can hit the ads that are downstairs. They can break the ads out by breaking through a shield, and then everybody can kill those ads. You kill all 3 ads and you can beat the phase. But the ads weren't getting the shield, so they weren't actually... It was just not reasonable. You couldn't do all the damage to them with just whoever was downstairs, and so we weren't able to actually progress this fight. We couldn't even kill one of the ads, and you need to kill all 3 to get out of this phase. And so the boss reaches 40% health, stops taking damage, and then eventually, after a long time in this phase, starts just spamming these annihilating shadows at us that do increasing damage and wipe you. So that's how the fight ended up being on PTR. But I suspect they'll probably test this again once they get the shield thing fixed. But it's cool. The class call part of this thing is cool. There's not really too much worry once those mobs have because it's a small shield. So even if you only have one person of whatever class gets called in your raid, they should be able to break the shield pretty easily. It's like 160k damage that they have to do on tooltip. So with it like this, the only way to potentially kill it that we were going to try was like only have 2 classes in the raid and just nuke the ads in this phase and try and kill him that way. We didn't get enough time to test that. That was what we were going to attempt, though. But once they fix that and put the shields on the ads, it'll be a lot more reasonable and definitely pretty doable. The walls mechanic is cool. It's a cool fight so far. And then there's a P3 that we didn't get to test out that's kind of a mix of the P1 and P2 mechanics. So if they retest this, I'll make another video on it. But for now, that is going to be the end of this one. See you in the next one. Bye.